The President is the head of state of the government of the United States of America and Commander-in-Chief of the United States Armed Forces. The world's most powerful political figure, and yet there is little known about what happened to him when the Black Friday pandemic hit. In this brief you will be updated on the President's situation. In the recent history of the green poison outbreak there have been 3 presidents: President Waller, President Mendez and President Ellis. Not too much is known about Presidents Waller and Mendez, but recently found intel tells us a lot about President Ellis. But we'll go over the other 2 in short too. First up is President Waller. President Lawrence Waller was in office when the green poison outbreak began in Manhattan. Mendez was vice president under his rule and Ellis was Speaker of the House. Waller was often criticized for being soft, but his intentions were good.
So what's our situation? Give it to me straight. I don't want any of this mamby-pamby bullshit people have been feeding me about what's going on.
Mr. President, it's bad. Whoever planned this timed it perfectly. We've already got outbreaks in 22 cities domestically and 14 internationally, and the reports are still coming in.
Do we have any idea who's responsible? Or is this a natural outbreak?
Negative on that, sir. DCD has just confirmed the pathogen is a smallpox variant. There's no way that got loose where it did, when it did, without some help.
So who was it? Moscow?
They've got problems of their
Beijing?
own, sir. The truth is we don't know. We just don't know.
When the pandemic hit, it was Waller who activated Directive 51, the directive that activated the Strategic Homeland Division.
Are you sure you want to do this? The optics are going to be terrible. With all due respect, Mr. Mendez, screw the optics. Manhattan's in a crisis state, and this is the one club I've got left in my bag. Hell if I'm not going to take a swing. Agreed. Hopefully, this will only be needed for a short time, and we can deal with the fallout once the crisis is past. And if it's not over quickly, what do we do then? Then you better learn some useful skills, because if this thing drags on, the damn optics will be the least of our worries.
The first wave of division agents were unsuccessful in their mission. Waller discussed with the JTF General if it was needed to activate the second wave.
It's clear that a small-scale activation didn't do the trick. Hell, it went backwards on us. We've got reports of agents going rogue. With all due respect, Mr. President, you can't toe-dip in a situation like this. Half measures aren't worth squat. Half measures my ass. Those agents have full executive authority and the most advanced tech in our arsenal. None of that matters if you took them into the deep end without a lifeline. Jesus, Larry, you've read history books. Fine. Call Louis Chang and let him know the second wave is a go.
Not long after the activation of the second wave, the White House staff got some bad news.
Have you heard?
Heard what?
About Waller?
No. What's the latest? Has he decided Russia's responsible after all?
No. He's dead.
Tell me you're lying.
I swear, I'm not. A heart attack got him an hour ago. They couldn't revive him.
Shit. That means that Mendez is in charge.
Is that all you can say at a time like this?
It's all I can afford to say.
President Waller passed away at the age of 71, presumably by a heart attack. It was at this time Vice President Thomas Mendez was sworn in as the new POTUS and was left to deal with the outbreak. As opposed to Waller, Mendez always understood numbers and statistics more than he understood people. As the situation with the green poison seemed to get more out of hand, Mendez called for an emergency briefing with the United Nations.
Gentlemen, ladies, I don't think I need to tell you the situation is dire. Exactly how bad it is, that's what we're here to discuss. Ambassador Minich, you have a report?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Unfortunately, it's not an optimistic one. If you look at the projections here, you will see that the infection is spreading despite our best efforts to contain it. Make no mistake, we are looking at a worst-case scenario. We have verified cases on every continent and 147 countries, with the number growing pretty much daily. Infections are radiating out from major travel hubs into smaller cities and rural areas. In short, even the most draconian quarantine measures have failed. We need to concentrate on relief efforts and on finding a cure.
It seems the government accepted the fact that there will be a high mortality rate with absolute chaos and started focusing on saving what remained and creating a cure. No further intel shows anything about Mendez' time serving as POTUS, as he passed away under dubious circumstances not long after. It was thought he committed suicide due to the stress of being a POTUS, but these rumors were unsubstantiated.
He's left-handed. Huh? He would have held the pistol in his left hand. Big fucking deal. You think anyone's going to notice? I think we had best not take chances, unless we want to face the consequences. Whatever. Wipe the grip and do the job properly. Fine. There. You happy? Of course not. This situation is completely fucked. Oh, Mendez wasn't going to unfuck it. That's for damn sure. Can't dispute that.
It seems Mendez was liquidated by his own Secret Service with the motive of free passage out of DC if they cooperated. The Black Tusk seem to have given the order to eliminate Mendez, which has some connections to the one who will follow up Mendez.
Mendez is dead.
Let me guess. Tragic case of involuntary suicide?
Something like that.
What a proud moment in the illustrious history of the Secret Service. I say that in all seriousness. That guy was a disaster.
You think we can hurry this up?
You got someone with B-Tex?
Yeah, anywhere but here. You promised safe passage out of the city.
You boys certainly earned yourselves an express ticket out of this predicament. I think you got him, Brenner. Yep, you got him.
I had to be sure.
Get him stowed. We're done here.
After the untimely death of Mendez, the Speaker of the House, Andrew Ellis, was sworn in as the new POTUS in an undisclosed bunker. Ellis flew in DC with Air Force One. With him, Ellis brought a briefcase that was necessary for retrieving a broad-spectrum antiviral. This antiviral was sent to DC to ensure continuity of government. Accordingly, it was able to cure a wide array of viral infections, including dengue fever, the common cold, and even the green poison. But as Air Force One entered DC's airspace, it crashed near the Capitol building.
Joint Base Andrews, this is Air Force One on approach. Do you copy?
We read you loud and clear. Welcome home. I've got you on a bearing of 100 at 16 Angels, over.
Sounds about right. Gonna alter course to the southeast, heading 150, then come around and Parker.
Sounds good. It'll be good to... Wait a minute, what's that?
Andrews, what are you reading?
We've got a SAM. Evade. Evade.
Copy that. I see it. Initiating evasive maneuvers. Shit, we're not gonna make it!
Air Force One? Air Force One.
Mayday, mayday! This is Air Force One. We have a missile impact and are going down. Repeat, we are going down. We are...
Judging by the black box recording, it seemed Air Force One was shot down by unknown assailants. Ellis was presumed to be KIA, while some believed he was still alive and was being held hostage by one of the enemy factions. Although no evidence supported this, it seemed the hyenas had been investigating the crash site and retrieved intel back to their headquarters in the World Bank Group. To investigate, the division raided the World Bank Group, one of the hyena headquarters. As they made their way through the building, it became clear the hyenas were keeping President Ellis captive. The agents managed to successfully extract Ellis by helicopter back to the safety of the White House. Ellis, unlike Waller, is willing to do whatever it takes to achieve his goals. He was considering a bid for the presidency during the last election, but decided that the timing wasn't right. His reasons are unknown, although we might have a clue. Ellis aspires to build a brand new America. He ordered the division to kick the enemies out of their castles, their so-called headquarters, and take out the leaders of each of the three competing factions: hyenas, outcasts, and true sons.
As Agent Kelso suspected, samples of a broad-spectrum antiviral medication were sent to DC as a continuity of government measure. Let me be clear. We're talking about a way to combat viral infection. Polio, influenza, dengue fever, common cold, green poison. Not a vaccine. a cure. I know where the package is located, but to access it, I'll need the briefcase I was carrying aboard Air Force One.
We believe the briefcase is with the true sons in the capital.
Then get it back. I don't care how you do it. Just get it done. If we're going to get this country back on track, we have to be willing to do things that won't be popular. But I'm not here to woo voters. I'm here to get shit done. And I expect you are too.
Oh yeah.
After successfully defeating the hostile factions, Ellis and the briefcase disappeared from the White House, without any sign of struggle. In the same time period, Washington DC got overrun by the Black Tusk, a private military contractor with an unknown commander. Although the Black Tusk agenda is unknown, it is thought they are looking to neutralize the division and take control of Washington DC. This aligns a little too perfectly with the plans and disappearance of President Ellis. There are more hints on the Black Tusk and President Ellis working together, but more in-depth answers will be provided in another intel brief. But it's curious to say the least. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the character briefing, I would like to ask you to like, share, subscribe and click the notification bell to become part of Masterminds HD community and notification squad. On top of that, you can follow me on Twitter for daily updates and join my Discord if you're looking for an engaged community that revolves around Tom Clancy's Division 1 and 2. Both links are in the description. Visit my Patreon page through the link in the description if you're interested in intel briefings with summarized information from my videos. To end the video, I have a question for you. What do you think happened to President Ellis when the Black Tusk invaded Washington DC? Do you think it's likely he's associated with the Black Tusk? Leave your answer in the comment section down below and I'll make sure to get back to you. I'll talk to you in the next video on Discord or on Twitter. Peace out.